Hello, top fans, and yeah, we're gonna get to it. We're not even gonna hold off. The odd couple is here in full force. I got some questions. They've been so nice to each other. It's been kind of like bromance and everything. So I'm just gonna stop the bromance. Big D, Mikey, how the heck are you guys today?
Doing well.
Yeah,
Living large and in charge. You know how it
yeah,
is.
Glad to be
yeah.
here.
Mikey, the other, one of the other episodes, Dave is like Apollo Creed. He's got like 12 nicknames, and I felt like I was Rocky going, well, you got a lot of nicknames. He's like, Patience, we're almost done. Like, he's like, I'm living large and in charge. I'm this, and I'm going,
I've
all right.
dined with kings and queens, and I've ate pork and beans. I'm the man of the hour, the man with the power, the one and only, often imitated, never duplicated, Astros fan extraordinaire. That's right. Big Dave's in your town, baby. Watch out for your chocolate covered almonds and your single moms. I'm just kidding. Don't at me, Bill. I'm sorry. That's
All right, boys. So we're gonna have a good show today. It's gonna be awesome. So let's start it out with a little slowness, just kind of ease into it. Because I got a couple questions for you boys that I know we're gonna, be throwing down a little bit. Dave's already doing some stretches. If you're listening to the audio, you don't see it. Mikey's just sitting here laughing at him. It just rolls. Mikey's like stretching too. If you're watching the video, you can kind of see. But all right, boys, injuries, injury reports. Too many? Does it bother you? Like we're in spring training. Some of these guys are like on the shelf possibly for the whole season already. What do you guys think?
I think
Go
this is
go ahead. Yeah.
sorry. There's two kinds of injuries here, okay, that I'm seeing. One, I'm going to call the your butt is not in shape injury. And this happens a lot to pitchers. For
Yep.
some reason, they're throwing arms out. You got, a, a quality starter that's going to basically miss the whole season now. And I mean, that's to be happening, but it's like, why are these guys not coming into shape? Why are you throwing so hard? Position. And then you've got the injuries because you've got one of your star players at bat facing a minor league journeyman on his sixth stint trying to work his stuff out and plunks one of your guys in the knee. I mean, that happened to y'all just last week. I don't know. I mean, I'm all for getting in tune, but it comes down to a point where your guys are going to do what your guys do. Mookie's going to do what Mookie does. Okay. Altuve is going to do what Altuve does. Until last year when they're playing in the World Baseball Classic and he takes one off the hand and he's on the shelf. So I don't know if necessarily shortening spring training or what, but something's got to be done because you run the risk. You've got franchises online, you've got tickets to sell. And if you're a team that doesn't have more than one superstar and this guy gets plunked, I mean, that's going to be for a long season. I don't like it. And I think, I don't know if it's people not coming in shape or just, the guys not having their stuff. So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Mikey, your
Well,
thought.
my thoughts on that are so they lost Altuve last year in a thing they do every few years. I don't like it when the Dodgers play in it. I don't think it's necessary. These guys are under big contract, making big money. And then like that happened, and he was on the shelf for a while. Gavin Lux just trying to run bases blew out his knee and missed an entire season. Emmett Sheehan, pitched a lot last year, more than he probably has as a professional. We haven't seen him this year because his arm is sore still, and I don't know if it has anything to do with pitchers and the rule changes on time. I think 20 seconds with or without guys on base is more than fair, but 20, what is it at now? Like 15 for nobody on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just, they're working faster than ever because they have to. And You know, I don't know if that has anything to do with the arm injuries that have been going on and stuff. But yeah, spring training is, and you brought up Max Muncy. He took one off the knee last night, and the game before that, he got hit in the hand. So, or the 2 games before that. So he got hit in the hand, and then he missed a game, and then he comes back, and then he gets drilled in the knee. But he played today, so that's good news for us. But yeah, spring training, that's my one thing I always say: get your work in and stay healthy. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, there's Dave and I talked about this a little bit on a different episode of something, and it's interesting, Mikey, like guys like Anthony Rendon, right? That he's played 4 seasons for the Angels and he's played 200 games, 200 games. Last year he had 43 at bats. Now he's on the shelf. He might have a groin injury to take him out the first month of the season. Well, congratulations.
Well,
Come in
he
healthy.
doesn't care. He already made that clear that baseball's not his top priority anyway. So
Yeah.
Couldn't happen to a better guy. I just wish it
Yeah.
would have happened in 2019.
You just you don't say that out loud. I'm sorry. You just don't say that. You know, if I was the Angels, I would fine him. I'd fine him if I could.
Can you imagine the call his agent had to him? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
But I mean, he's the anti-Trout. The Angels broke him as opposed to Trout. You know, like he's like, you know what, I'm done. You know, he balled up in Washington, and then his whole stint in Anaheim or Los Angeles or whatever they're calling the team these days, the Angels of Southern California. Yeah, his stint there has been mediocre at best.
Yeah.
They should have just stuck with the California Angels back in the 70s when they had it. They had all of California then.
Exactly. All right. So for those of you that have listened to this, Mikey is a huge Dodger fan and Dave is a huge Astros fan. And it's called the odd couple for a reason. These guys get along, but they definitely see eye to eye on stuff, but they definitely don't see eye to eye on other things. So I'm going to try to poke the bear a little bit for you. And if you're driving in the car, you might want to pull over because you might be laughing. Don't put anything in your mouth that you're getting ready to swallow, because here it goes. We're going to have some fun. We've had a couple of episodes. Now it's time to drop the gloves and get ready. Dave's doing his calisthenics over here. If you're just listening to the audio, Mikey's shaking his head going, all right, here we go. Giddy up. Right. And so here, Mikey, I'm going to let you have this first question since Dave answered the first one. You're the commissioner of the MLB. Okay. You find out that the 2020 or 2017 Astros cheated. Bang, bang, fastball, as Dave says. What are you going to do? What would be your punishment?
Well, you know, I bottom line, I don't want the Dodgers to have the title. I just think it should have been just no winner that year. I think the title should have been stripped, plain and simple. You know, they admitted it. Everybody admitted it. Their apologies were a joke. Pretty much everything about it really was a joke, in my opinion. We need a man as a major league commissioner. Not saying Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis or anything, but like, you know, a Bart Giamatti or a Faye Vincent, someone that's going to hold people accountable for their actions. And, you know, let's just be real. They got a slap on the wrist, basically, is all that happened. And it ruined, that scandal ruined a lot of players' careers.
Yeah. Do you think that they went far enough, or do you think the MLB didn't go far enough on their punishment? And Dave, don't worry, I'm getting to you now. Do you think they went far enough?
Definitely they didn't go far enough, in my opinion, at all.
Okay. Okay, so Dave, and I'm going to ask a follow-up question to Mikey in a second. Dave, you're the commissioner of baseball. You found out that your boys cheated. Okay, what are you going to do to them?
Okay, so you said you need a man, not a Manfred. So let me put my commissioner hat on here. All right, and this is official capacity. I'm not an Astros fan right now. I'm working for the league. All right. And all I got to say is complete BS. Okay. Look, let's get down to facts. Let's get down to brass tacks. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. All right. Some people say that the sign stealing scandal was illegal. Meh. All right. Trying to gain an advantage on your opponent is ingrained in baseball since day one. That would not be a sign stealing scandal if sign stealing was not already part of the game. All right. Stop with the baseball purist talk that we ruined. If you wanted to strip the 2017 Astros, you would definitely have, where would you draw the line at cheating? Did the 90s teams that had chock full of steroid used players winning titles, did they get stripped? No. Did they get punished? Yes. First of all, there would not be any testimony had immunity not been given. It would have just been speculation along with the other 29 teams that were probably doing it. If not 29, at least a higher 5%. Dodger fan, y'all know y'all were doing it. The Cardinals hacked into our mainframe one year. Like, it's part of it. We just did it better than everybody else. And to be honest, I think Manfred made us take it on the chin for the league. I'm sure that there's been multiple players that have came out in public forums and in the social media stating that they know and that the Astros got kind of a raw deal that a lot of other teams were doing, if not the same thing. I mean, let's be honest. It was a trash can and a baseball bat. We're not talking high-tech Mission Impossible stuff here, okay? So now, after all that, numbers are numbers. There is we help the Astros swing more at fastballs or less at off-speed pitches at home, which is where we were doing it at. Okay. No significant difference in swing rate on off-speed or outside the zone pitches. There was no no differences in the home swing rate at fastballs before or after May 28th, which of course is the big date that when this whole thing was started. No significant differences in the home and away walk and strikeout rate. I mean, these are legit numbers. This was an outside panel. I think they were from Phoenix or somewhere, right smack dab in the middle of California and Texas that did this research. I'm not making it up. You can go Google it. But there was no significant more big run innings. There was no significant big away innings, differences, the splits. They were not likely than any other major league team to come back from any deficit that they faced that year. Could it just be that the Astros were extremely good at hitting the ball? I mean, I'm just saying most of the players did testify that the banging itself was actually more distracting because it had you off of your regular reactions, okay? Despite the evidence, one thing is clear that the Astros and the players from that 2017 World Series will always have a stigma that follows them around. I hope it doesn't prevent players like Altuve, who deservedly so, getting to the Hall of Fame. I'm sure the writers will make him pay by not making him be a first balloter. But, it is what it is. We did it. Yeah. So be it. That's what you want to say. The thing is there. The players said they did it. Move on.
Your own players after the fact said they did it.
Let's after 2017, 2018, you guys made it back. And who screwed y'all that year? That's right. The Apple Watch guys themselves, the Boston Red Sox. And then who do you go sign to help you win?
The Red Sox never had a bang bang thing. They never even said how they did it, if they even did it. And where you lump every team, you try and lump every team into it. Where's the proof the Dodgers cheated that year?
I'm just saying,
where did you hear it?
I don't have the proof because but I will wait for the day that the next athletic story pops off. Okay. Because if you think for 1 second that these teams and the players weren't talking and they didn't know what was going on and they weren't trying to implement some of their own. And it may not have been science stealing. It may have not. It could have been something totally different. Like I said, the
But we're not
Cardinals
talking about that.
The Cardinals had a front office team hack into a mainframe. Okay, so gaining an advantage, you win by any means necessary. All right.
Hey, I have no problem with sign stealing. If you're doing it in the dugout and your assistant coach is looking at the other guy doing signs and you figure out a pattern, that's part of baseball. But when you got a guy back watching video and he's looking at the catcher's signs and then they bang on a can saying this is the pitch that's coming, one's a fastball, two is a change, three is a, that's way above and beyond the etiquette of sign stealing. I'm sorry.
Like I said,
I'll never change your mind. You'll never change mine.
Illegal to some, maybe, but unethical. Okay, I'll give you that.
Why don't we just tell the guy on a fastball, here it comes? I mean,
other than Greg Maddux, I don't think anybody was good at doing that. You know, but you know, it is what it is. Like I said, it's done. There wouldn't have been any proof at all had Manfred not offered immunity. If he'd have, nobody would have said nothing.
The chunky dude that we got a couple years ago from the Astros, he didn't stay very long, but he apologized to the Dodgers in the locker room. Mike Fiers, once he went to the A's, flat out, he's the one that broke it for everyone to hear, because he's like, I don't want to be out there knowing that they, know what I'm going to throw when I'm going to throw it.
To date, Mike Fiers has not returned his World Series ring. Just a little add that in there.
I probably wouldn't either, dude. I'm just saying, and you're right. These guys are going to have to live with it for the rest of their lives. And, some people won't care, and others, it's, they're probably going to be walking around with their family and they're like, hey, there's that cheater over there that cheated. They have to live with it. So and that's fine. And I hope it sucks. I really do.
So let me add, let me add both of you. I want you to ask or answer this for me. Too much or not enough? Okay. What happens if Commissioner Bill said that I would have done exactly what the commission did, right? And find them the $5 million, the draft picks and everything like that. But I'm of the belief in baseball that the fans are the ones that regulate. Okay. The fans are going to regulate the players, because if the fans are ticked off, they can vote with their feet. Look what they're doing, or no. Right. Too much or not enough? What happens if I told you that if I were commissioner, not only would I have done what they did, but I would have said, for the next 10 seasons, anytime the Astros make the playoffs, which is every year, it seems like, they will not host one home game at Minute Maid Park. Every playoff game, every World Series game will be played on the road. And
I wouldn't agree with that, because you are punishing the fans too at that point. Then
who's going to regulate it, right?
I don't know. I told you what I thought. They should have just been stripped. There's no winner that year. Okay. And it just goes down as a disgrace of a season, and we're gonna scrub the record.
Dave, is that too much or not enough?
Yeah, that's definitely overboard. You're also punishing a team in the future that may not even have players from that scandal on it, and costing them possible money, whatever. You're talking about players' lives that were ruined by it. You're talking about taking money out of people's pockets. So,
true.
There, like I said, had there not been immunity, it would just be all speculation, and that's all it would be.
Yeah, and my genesis to the whole.
I don't think I'm.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Dave. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, I'm not above the fact that Manfred knowingly did it to cover up everything else. He couldn't have the Yankees come out, or God forbid the Dodgers come out, or the marquee teams with the marquee players doing it. I will say this: Altuve in his statement said he didn't use it, he didn't like it, and all the other players corroborated that story. So, like I said, he'll forever be chased by it. But let's not forget the fact that the Astros continued to do it. Okay. It's not like we had this huge fall off and like once the guys fell off steroids, they just lost all their muscle and all that. We were still there. We still went to 7 straight. We're still in contention now after all these years with very few players that are still left from that scandal.
Which makes it even more criminal to me that they didn't need that. They didn't even need to do it, is what I'm saying. They are good. They have great players. They do have very good players. And for them to use that, it wasn't necessary. It wasn't even necessary.
Yeah, no. I blame Cora and AJ Hinch to a fault. You're the skipper. You've got the power to say, he's come out after, he got fired and he had his interview and all that saying that, I didn't like it and I ripped the TV off the wall. Well, you didn't rip the second TV off the wall that they put up or the third one. Like, you're the skipper. You know what's going on in that dugout. And that's where I think the line should be drawn.
GM as well. And, sadly, those were the, Hinch, and he's back. I mean, I don't ever want to see anybody lose their livelihoods. It's baseball. It's supposed to be. It's their jobs. Don't get me wrong. That is their jobs. That's how they feed their family. Baseball for us, it's entertainment. And I don't want to see anybody lose their jobs. But yeah,
and in a weird way. And Houston perhaps was the perfect city for it. We don't mind the stigma or the label. We almost cherish being the bad guy, being that Patriots now. Like, I drink the tears of people that are mad about it. I relish it. I love pushing that button because I know I can push it, But
what else what other way would you go other than that? You'd have to be like, yeah, it's my team, and
I dare.
I mean, so you got to spin it that way. That's how you have to spin it.
Well, that's almost how any team.
Can I ask you a question? Do you know any fans? You're Big Dave. You are the Astros. You got a lot of friends, a lot of Astros friends. Is there anyone that said, I can't, I don't like it, so I'll find another sport to root for? Or
there was a lot of people that came out to say that, and I saw those same people at the games the next year buying the merch, getting razor short when it comes to stuff like that. But like I said, any team that would have won a World Series, a championship in any sport and had a scandal, your team base, I dare them to say that they would, it's going to have to be your hardcore guys. I can see a guy that watched the Astros for 80 years and that was the first time he saw them win. Like, okay, I get it. But I think it's generational hate. The younger they get, I hope approval rating of baseball stays. I don't want to see, young people stop falling in love with baseball. And that's what I worry about scandals hurting, is stuff like that. Of course, we don't want to teach our little league players to gain an advantage. However, once they get to high school, hey man, if the tipper's pitching, this pitch is gone and let us know. So I get it. Yeah. There is a purist feel there, but this is still a game that you're trying to gain an advantage on. I just think we did it better than anybody. So,
I don't think they did it better than I don't think everybody did it. So, but the fact of the matter is, little league, there's little leagues around California and stuff that got rid of the Astros name. They basically threw it out of the league. And that's not even, I'm Northern California and it happened. And then I'm still happy to see guys like George Springer and Carlos Correa, any of those guys. Every time they come up, they still get booed. I mean, I don't want these guys to forget about it. I want them to have to go to bed at night going, maybe we should have thought about it, and now we're paying the price in the long run.
Let me show you how the Astros sleep.
Yep.
Just like that, baby.
So Mikey, your comment is 100%. Your question is 100%. And as you know, I've been down to Houston a couple of times, and I've got a lot of Houston friends, and I can tell you the majority of them that I've talked to will let you know that they cheated. They don't like it, but they know that it happened, and so they're not ignoring it. They're not happy about it. But they're also not running away from it. It's not. I mean,
well, and that's where I would have to be as a Dodger fan, because I love the Dodgers. I mean,
right?
You don't just tattoo your skin with. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to follow back up with, and that's why the continuation of the winning was so important to us. That's why 2022 was so important. That's why
and I will say
hurt so bad.
As a fan of baseball, I am glad for the Astros as far as that goes, that they did, for that simple fact that it legitimizes that they're, they,
I mean,
yeah, but yeah.
Okay, so
that's why 2019 hurt so bad. We wanted that. We should have beat the Nationals there. The Braves in 2021, that hurt so bad. But just the fact that we're talking about being in 5 World Series in 7 years, I mean, the guys can hit. And I know that's why it makes people like you mad that they didn't need it. I also think that maybe that's why they chalked it up as more of a nonchalant thing, like, yeah, we don't need this. And they just went along with the coach, like, you can go ahead, bang your trash can, whatever. Because like I said, if you go and look at the splits are not that huge. And if the Dodgers win their home games, we're not probably even having this conversation. So
I think we are, because Mike Fiers, once he was left the team, he's the one that came out and said it, And
I meant the debate whether, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought there. If the Dodgers would have won their home games, then we wouldn't worry about the Astros screwing y'all. It'd be like, oh, y'all cheated and we still beat y'all, like,
So. And I will say this, since I've been a part of Top Fan Rivalry, I've met guys like Dave and Juicebox Jackie and Icon Fitz, all those, and they're great people. They are, and I do feel for them, and I would have to protect my team as well. I'd be disappointed, and I'd let it know that I'm disappointed, but you
don't have all the titles like you guys have to hang our hat on. We hold on to what we got. Okay, let us get 5 or 6, and maybe some of us will forget about 2017 as much. But right now, on the books, we've got 2, and we treat them like our favorite children.
Yeah. So, and I love wrapping up that side of the topic. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna flip this around just so that you don't think that are listening to this that, gee, Bill's a Dodger fan and he went right after Dave. Dave, answer this question. 2020 60-game season. The Dodgers win a World Series. What do you think about that? Everybody talks about how it's this type of season or that type of season. What are your thoughts about the 2020 series?
I won't mention a particular big-eared rodent that I know, the mouse that runs the house, so to speak. But the asterisk would be deserving for that title. And I know, don't at me, coming right off of the 2017 topic, it's no different than the strike shortened season. 60 games is way different. Even if you throw the playoffs in there, 82 games is way different than a 162 game season, just for a few reasons: injuries, roster adjustments, scheduling. I think the Dodgers that year in the regular season only played 2 teams that were above 500, and one of them was the A's, who started off hot in that shortened season. On the other side of that, you guys did beat 4 good teams on the way to that title. You had to win 4 series. You beat the Pods. You beat the
Braves.
The Braves, the then the Tampa Bay Rays. And it's not just the Dodger thing. People are going to say, oh, Dave's an Astros fan, and he just got punched in the gut over 2017. Even if it was the Rays that actually had won this thing, I just think that there is a significant difference in, we were just talking about injuries and whatnot, and taking out 100 games, you never know what would have happened. So I do think, I don't think necessarily it doesn't count, because all the teams played by the same rules that year. And had the Astros won, I'd probably be sitting up here talking about you can take your Mickey Mouse ears and you know what. But there definitely is something to be said about playing a shortened season, especially where you didn't play all of the team. Everybody didn't play the same teams. So,
Mikey, thoughts?
It was tough. It was tough. And we're not even just talking baseball. I mean, it was an epidemic. I mean, people died. Some players opted out from teams. But the fact of the matter is, they chose to play the season. I didn't see any team out of the major league teams say we're going to sit this whole year out, as a team. Everybody played. We won. So plain and simple, it should count. You could put an asterisk by it. It was 60-game season, but we're still the winners. We won. So, I'd feel the same way about any team who won it. What are you going to do? I mean, the Dodgers played that year. They just happened to win that, in 20. So, for people to say it's a Mickey Mouse one, I'll be like, what, you can say whatever you want. We'll sleep like this at night knowing we won the 2020. So
hey, I'm not mad at it. As much as I want to disagree with Mikey, I mean, it is what it is. Everybody played by the rules, and had the Astros won it in 2020, we'd be definitely screaming that we had 3 titles and you know what. So
yeah. So honestly, boys, it's funny that some of the people, especially, I'm not going to name names of teams, but the Angel fans, they get really frustrated by this, and that's fine. Be frustrated as much as you want, but like Garrett Cole had said, he says, if they're handing out a title, I want it, period. And so I get the fact that it's a shortened season. Just Dave, you just brought up a good point. What about the strike season in '95 that started late? That's fine. You can do that in those type of things. But if there's a title out there, you want it, right? So
we're known. The Dodgers are known to win these kinds of things. We won in '81. Let's have a strike every year or something. We seem to win those years. So
Mikey, in '81, who did the Dodgers beat out for the division that year? I don't know if I can quite remember. I know we beat out Montreal for the championship series, but gosh, do you remember who we beat in the division?
Was it Atlanta?
Do you remember who we beat in the division, Dave?
Yeah, I remember. You remember who the Astros beat in '99 to win the division on the last game of the season?
It was the Astros, Mikey.
Oh.
We tied, remember, they split it up into 2 halves, right?
Yeah.
And so the Dodgers won the first half, the Astros won the second half. They had a 3-game playoff, and we took them to town. But look at Dave going out to '99.
Answer my question, though. In the last game of the regular season in the Astrodome, who did we beat to clinch the division?
Well, I know it's not the Mets because they don't play October.
It was the North Tijuana Trolley Dodgers. That's right. Now let's forget the fact that the Braves took us to the NLCS and beat the brakes off of us. But or the NLDS, I'm sorry. The Braves beat the crap out of us that year. But I will forever hang my hat that the last game I saw in the Astrodome, which happened to be the first game my daughter attended too, we beat the Dodgers to win a division title. It doesn't get any better than that.
I do remember having my transistor radio in 6th grade, listening to those day games in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's insane. And
Yes,
I'm not
I
gonna,
said transistor radio.
Mikey. Let me ask you this: if I somehow or another, Dave and I were talking about this, if somehow or another we could convince Harris County and Major League Baseball to throw some cash together and renovate the dome and let the Astros play their like 12 or 13 games a season, would you go to the dome when the Astros are playing the Dodgers if they played the Dodgers in the dome? Would that make it more intriguing to you?
If they fix that field, that concrete outfield, wrecked knees. Let kids play there. Let high schools play there. I don't want to see Major League Baseball there. It's dark.
We're not talking about coming in like Brewster's Millions with the hack and sack Bulls here. Okay, we're gonna drop some money on it. I'm playing the lotto. I'm playing the Powerball. Once I win, me and Bill are gonna go in and buy it, and yeah, we'll have a whole exhibition series with the Dodgers. We'll even make it like a battle, right? If the Dodgers win, then we've got to admit that we robbed them for 2017.
Will Bill and Dave be out there and be like, let them play?
Of course.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Dave already admitted that he's more of a Tanner Boyle than a Kelly Leak.
What was that guy's name? The coach then? It wasn't Buttermaker. It would something Divine played. The actor Divine played
it was
him.
Kelly Leak's dad. It was Mike Leak.
Yeah, it was Mike Leak. Yeah.
Willem Defane of Knots Landing fame. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap up here. For those of you listening to this, we hit it the nail on the head, but we ran a little over. That's fine. So we talked about the 2020 season. We talked about the 2017 season. Mikey and Dave went at it. This is why they call the odd couple. Now we have to have, can we get a hug moment? So I think I've got the perfect thing for you. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like all dislike, hatred, whatever you want to call it, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, Mikey and Dave, how much do you dislike the Bronx Bombers, the New York Yankees? Dave?
Go ahead, Dave. You can go first.
You said 10 is the most hatred?
Yeah.
It's probably close to like 750.
Not 7.5, everybody. It's 7.
No. Yeah. The decimal point is after the zero. And Garrett Cole, you know what you can do, buddy. All right. Yeah. Gone.
Mikey.
Yankees is nothing compared to where I am with the Giants. So, they smacked us around a lot when we were in Brooklyn, a couple times in LA. 8.
Okay. Just remember, Aaron Judge, if you're listening to us right now,
we broke your
we're
foot.
talking about
Take that.
Yeah, but Aaron, you still owe us for the bullpen door, brother. Just let us know where we need to send the bill. Sorry about the toe, but we need the money.
We'll return your toe. We'll return your toe when you pay the bill.
Yeah, we got Shohei's contract to take care of now, big guys. So if you can just
throw
the cash,
throw it in the LA River. Let them walk around with 9 of them. I don't care.
Well, everybody, this is what we do. So be prepared. There's 3 places that you're going to see this episode. 1, it's going to be in the locker room. Okay, so you'll see it in the locker room. TopFanRivalry.com in the locker room. Number 2, because we're still early with the Odd Couple, you'll see it on YouTube. Okay, but those are going to go away soon. They're going to all be in the locker room. They're going to poof. It's kind of like Mary Poppins bags of tricks, right? It's just poof, it's gone. Um, and then the third place, you're going to be able to hear it. We're going to actually post this one up just so that you can see what you're missing in the locker room. Now, I'm going to brag about these guys for 30 seconds as we wrap up. Mikey and Dave are great dudes. They are baseball guys through and through. They bleed Dodger blue. They bleed Astros orange, just straight out and straight up. They can disagree with each other, but they're always going to be agreeable. It's not a thing. There you go. It's not a thing where they are going to hang up with this and say, I can't believe I had to do that. These guys are good dudes, and that's what Top Fan's all about. Top Fan is about family, and it's all about us being able to fan the way that we want to, and everybody respect each other. So, Mikey and Dave, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for today's episode. This is a lot of fun. We should do it next week, don't you think?
Sounds good.
Perfect.
I'm down, man. I tip my cap to both you Dodger fans, man. There are worse things to be in life than a Dodger of Big Dave anytime.
There you go. Well, fellas, we appreciate it. Top Fan Rivalry followers, make sure you're following Big Dave. Make sure you're following Mikey Bleeds Blue. Mikey does some great content with the Dodgers. Big Dave does great content with the Astros. You're not going to miss out. So have a great day, night, whenever you're watching this. We appreciate you. For those of you that were listening to this on your drive to work, now you can pull back onto the road. It's safe now. All is clear. So have a good one, everybody.